幸的邀请到了美国国家科学委员会公共服务奖获得者 STEM City 元宇宙创始人、美国职业通信集团主席 Tyron Taboo 先生，为我们带来题为“元宇宙将如何赋能创新型社会”的演讲。来，一起观看大屏幕。
Hello, I'm Tyron Taboo, the creator of STEM City USA. So happy to be with you today. You know, a lot of what I'm going to talk about over the next few minutes has to do with a creative community and how the Metaverse will actually help in developing a creative and collaborative community. But let me start off with telling you a little bit about STEM City USA. STEM City is a browser-based metaverse. It is probably the way that most of us will actually consume the metaverse. While we have VR, AR, XR, and other pieces, those are really not the metaverse, those are tools. So what the metaverse truly is, deals with four primary areas. One, having digital agency over who you are. That means you own your own information. The metaverse is also, number two, it's persistent. It's always there. It's available 24 hours. The metaverse is also, and more importantly, an area where you create a digital carbon copy. That means that the universe is always growing because of your involvement. And four, and most importantly, which leads me into what a creative community is all about. More importantly, the metaverse is about community. It is about us being able to come together, to collaborate with one another, to be part of a trusting community. So let's talk a moment about how the metaverse can be so transformational in creating collaboration. Collaboration with universities, collaborations with companies, collaborations with teams. So the four things I'm going to mention to you today. One is the creative community. Number two, how we can collaborate with one another. Number three, creating a trusting community. And number four, and probably most important to many of us, is how we're going to be able to use the metaverse platforms, particularly web-based metaverse platforms, for a better ROI and bringing down the cost of investing in infrastructure. So let's talk about the creative community. What divides us? You know, traditionally, we've all had to be in the same room, the same environment, in order to express thoughts and to collaborate with one another. With Web 2.0, we basically were just able to send data to one another, but it wasn't really a collaborative experience. I mean, we couldn't really connect and talk to one another. So what we were able to do with STEM City USA, which is a web-based platform, we've created this platform where individuals can come in and talk to one another and deal with one another. You know, it's interesting, if you look at the pandemic and what actually happened during the pandemic, a lot of the breakthroughs were forced to be done through the internet. But in the internet sense, again, it was just distributing information, but it was not as collaborative as we wanted to. With something like a metaverse, we're working in real time. We can hop on the phone, we can collaborate with one another at any given opportunity. So that is what will breed more of a creative environment. But number two, and this is very important because when we talk about sharing data, we have to have a trusted community. And because the web, because the metaverse is basically built on blockchain, which means we're able to own the data that we're distributing, it creates a more opportunity for us to share with one another because we don't have questions about intellectual property. And being able to send that, we know we can control the information we're sending back and forth. So the issue of a trusting community is actually built in the foundation of a metaverse that is built on a blockchain concept. So let's move on. Other than that, collaboration. As I mentioned before, because of a trusting environment, that breeds the opportunity for us to collaborate. The metaverse, as I've already defined at the top of my remarks, the metaverse is persistent. It's always there. It's always open. That means at any given time, we can pop over to the office, the coffee machine, we can be in the hallway. There's always an opportunity for us to come together and share ideas and share thoughts in an environment that we, quite frankly, feel very comfortable with. And now let's talk about the ROI, because I think this is really the most exciting area. Here in the US, where I'm working, we have a lot of areas of excellence. We have different universities that are doing great things. But none of the universities that I work with are really experts in every single area. So in a metaverse concept, we can build this virtual universe. We can build a university. We can build labs where people can come together and work and collaborate from many different universities, many different companies. All of this information can be brought into one location and allow researchers, entrepreneurs, business people to really be able to attack some of the most common challenges that we're up against. Now, I know you're probably wondering, is this utopia? No. This is a reality. A metaverse strategy is critical for any company, university, country. As we begin to look at the decentralization of digital content, making that content more personal to individuals, that individuals now have the ability to have more agency over their information, over their IP. So as we move in these new areas, and we move into Web 3.0, we move into the industrial internet, and we move into the metaverse, these things that I have mentioned are really the future. They're now. There are going to be the things that actually will change how we deal with one another, how we can collaborate, and how we can push humanity to a higher level. So again, I'd like to thank you for inviting me to give these brief remarks. I could spend a lot more time talking about this, but let me leave you with these thoughts. Because of decentralization, technology will bring us closer together, not separate us. Because of decentralization, because of blockchain, we will be able to own our own digital information. We will have much more agency over ourselves. We'll have much more control over our thoughts and intellectual property. And because of those things, we will be able to come together as a creative community and continue to do great things. I hope you enjoy the rest of your conference. Thank you for inviting me, and good luck and enjoy yourselves.
好，谢谢 Aaron 非常精彩的演讲，给我们描绘了这样一个在 Web 3.0的基础上一个元宇宙的世界，我觉得。